Forget a realtor, baby. Let's sell ourselves. Part 2.
You better get fired up!
Alright, so this is episode 84. If you go back, you can see episode 83. 83 was the first part of a 3-part series on how to sell a home yourself. I want to start by saying this is not what I recommend at all. I think it's completely worth it for a multitude of reasons to get a realtor. But if your head is just set on it, I absolutely want to get you on the path to success. So in the first video, episode 83, we talked about the first 2 things I suggest, which getting on the MLS is an absolute must, and your verbiage has to be spot on. Today I'm going to add 2 more great points for you, 2 things you can stuff in that tool belt to use starting with professional photography. Being on the MLS is a must. I mean, that's where all the buyers are looking, whether they're on Trulia, Redfin, Zillow, ColdwellBanker.com, KellerWilliams.com, it doesn't matter. All of that pulls from the MLS. So if you're not on the MLS, good luck being found. But traditionally, when you do those searches, right, if I punch in, I need at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms, I got to be between 250 and 300,000, whatever it is, whatever your search criteria is, it's going to return a slew of homes. So you've got 119 homes on your list, and what most people are thinking is, there's no way I'm going to look through and research all of these 119 homes in detail. So what do they do? What do you do? What do I do? You go through and you quickly scan the photos to try to narrow it down to something a little bit more manageable, right? Maybe 15 to 20 houses. Now that you've got it down to 15, 20 houses, you'll go in and you'll start reading all the descriptions and you'll look at the data and you'll dig a little bit deeper into the neighborhoods. You'll get a little bit deeper with it, but if the photography isn't spot on, you're not even going to get that far on that property. Remember this too. Any marketing that you're going to do is going to pull from the pictures that you're putting on the MLS. So regardless of how you got on the MLS, all of the other companies that pull from the MLS are pulling the same photos. That includes all the monster companies I just named. Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, Redfin, Remax.com, all of them, right? All of those companies are pulling those pictures. That means that any realtor that wants to send out a mailing, postcards, flyers for something that's going on in the area, and they want to list all of those properties that are being sold, and yours is one of them, all those beautiful professional photos of your competition are going to be on there, and then your home with that unprofessional photography is going to be compared to all those homes. You might have the best home, the best price, the best everything, but if you've got the unprofessional photography, as I like to call it, you're going to have a really tough time grabbing the hearts and emotions of the people who are making the decisions to buy. And really, in my market right now in South Florida, I can get a photographer to come in and do 20, 30 photos for $200, $250, and those photos look sharp. For $250, it's a no-brainer. It's worth it. All right, so we've got the MLS, we've got the verbiage, we've got the photos. What's number 4? The 4th thing you want to focus on is that the home really shows well. And there's a lot with shows well. This is something I not only recommend, but it's something I've done on every personal sale in my past. Now, staging can be as cheap as $100, $200 for a consult, all the way up to several thousands of dollars for a big monster house that wants to rent out furniture over many, many months. For me though, personally, it's an investment. If I put whatever it is, $700, $1,000, $1,500 into the staging, I know on average I'm going to get percentage points back on doing so. They're going to make that house look smoking hot. But if you're watching this video, you already have an issue paying a realtor's fee, so you might have an issue paying that fee as well. So let's talk about an alternative. The alternative is you do it yourself. Now, I like to break staging into 2 parts, right? Inside and outside. Focusing on the inside, you really want to declutter, right? So get as much of the stuff out as you can, and you want to depersonalize. You want to declutter because, number 1, it kind of helps you depersonalize, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it also creates space. So I'll give you 2 great examples, right? Let's start with a countertop. You've got a big, beautiful granite countertop. It's gorgeous. But it's got a toaster on it, a blender on it, it's got a food processor, there's a microwave. When a buyer comes in and they look at your home, they don't see that big, beautiful, expansive slab of granite. All they see is your stuff. I think most sellers know this, but I do think that they justify in their head, hey, people can look beyond that. They can't. And I think a second great example is a living room. A lot of people have loads of furniture in their living room because they want to be able to fit as many people in there to enjoy the TV, the fireplace, whatever it is you're doing in the living room. But when you get that prospective buyer in there, you're selling the space. You want it to feel big. So you want to keep 1 or 2 pieces of furniture in there. You want to brighten that sucker up either with as much natural light as you possibly can or some lighting that you've installed. And you want to make sure that it's easy for them to maneuver throughout the property, right? If it's difficult to get around certain pieces of furniture to get through the flow of the home, it just disrupts the buying process. It disrupts what they're thinking about the home. And then depersonalize. Why do you depersonalize? It's such a mental game, but you want to make sure that when that buyer's coming in, they're looking at their potential home, not the home that's currently owned by you. So if they see little Jimmy's baseball pictures and they see little Jenny's ballet pictures and they see that you were the salesman of the year and your husband was, whatever, it doesn't matter. All they're seeing is your family and how you own this house, and it's a little bit harder for them to picture themselves in that house. But if you can remove all that personal stuff, they're able to come in and start picturing their family enjoying that living room, their family having a great dinner in that kitchen. All right, and then outside, let's spruce up that landscaping and make the outside of the house look beautiful. Painting the exterior of a home can be expensive. A lot of times, if your home doesn't show really well, painting can be worth it. But again, these videos are for people who generally are trying to save money, so if you're willing to put in the effort and the outside of your home doesn't look that sharp, do it yourself. It's really not that expensive. I'll warn you, it takes a lot of time, but if you're into saving money and that's why you're here, it's not that expensive. And do a spot inspection of your home, right? Go around and look at the gutters, make sure they're all attached. Look at your shingles, make sure that there's no sticks underneath. Just look at your home like a buyer would and fix anything that either takes a little bit of time or it costs $100 or less, right? Just instantly fix all that stuff and make it look good to that future prospective buyer. And then at a minimum, I recommend investing a few $100 going out and get some new wood chips, some new bushes, some new rocks, whatever it is you need to do to really spruce up the outside of that home and make the landscaping look good and inviting. And I want you to think about a power washer. If you've got a concrete driveway coming in, you don't want that dingy old gray, black, brown, dirt and moss sitting on that driveway. You want it to look sparkling white. So hire somebody who's got a power washing company, go rent a power washer, whatever you've got to do, but get that sucker looking clean. And then my last big point, and this is again a no-brainer, invest, and this is a great investment, in a pre-inspection. So traditionally when you go to sell a home, the seller puts the home on the market, the buyers come and look, the eventual buyer who puts a purchase agreement on the property says, hey, I'm going to give you this much. The seller says, okay, I like it, let's do it. Then the inspection rolls around and all of a sudden all these little things, and I don't care if you've got a new construction home, that new construction home is going to have a list of things pop up on the inspection. If it pops up on new construction, it's certainly going to pop up on any other home, right? So what does the buyer do? The buyer gets nervous and they start submitting lists of repairs they want you to do, or even worse sometimes, money they want you to give them or put into an escrow account to fix all of those issues. This is where either a lot of deals fall apart or I see sellers dishing out thousands of dollars. So listen, for a few $100s, you can pay proactively for the home inspector to come in on day one, right? Get somebody local, somebody reputable, get them to come in and give you a pre-inspection. But the inspection's gonna look the same, right? If you would have had a buyer come in, get the inspection, and you would have had 17 issues, you're still gonna have 17 issues. Here's the difference. You're now able to take a look at all of those issues and fix them. And you can fix them on your timeline. You don't have the deadlines and pressure of a purchase agreement looming over your shoulders, forcing you to move quicker than you otherwise would. So now you got the pre-inspection, you got the 17 things fixed. Take the receipts from all those 17 things, write a little note. Hey, I fixed this on this date by doing this, and then staple it to that inspection report. If you hired a plumber, you hired an electrician, you hired a contractor, get their card, get the receipt from paying them, staple it, and then again, write that note. Now, when you're holding showings or an open house or whatever, right? You got buyers coming in the house, you want to take that inspection report, open it up, and have that displayed in your home so everybody can see it. On the front of that inspection report, you're going to put a letter together and you're going to sign it on the bottom. What does the letter say? Mr. and or Mrs. Buyer, thank you so much for coming into my home, blah, 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 a whole bunch of other pleasantries. And then you're going to say, I was so concerned wanting to make sure that you got such a great home that I went out and invested the money that you would normally invest by getting a home inspection before you even took a look at the home. Like many homes, we had a few issues, so I made sure that you're getting a perfect home when you purchase this home by going out and either fixing the stuff myself, or with the things I couldn't fix myself, I hired a professional. I've left all the receipts attached to the issues in the report with a little note commenting on exactly what happened, when it happened, and who did it. And all of the receipts and or business cards have phone numbers and email addresses, so if you do happen to have an issue down the road, you can contact all these people. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. If you love what I'm putting out and you want even more, go up here and check out my Facebook business page and my Instagram handle for more real estate statistics. If you like the video, please go down and hit the like button. Again, this is part 2 of a 3-part series on how to sell your home yourself. So watch for that 3rd video coming out shortly. And if you love the video, make sure you get down there and hit subscribe. I appreciate it, and you guys stay fired up.